Good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to today's episode of Awaken the Leadership in You. Thank you for joining me tonight. Those of you joining on Facebook and on YouTube, I trust God to help us get the gist of what this month we're looking at here in Kingdom Arena from the mental perspective, mental empowerment perspective, as opposed to the spiritual empowerment. The truth of the matter is that all truth comes from God, because He is truth Himself. And so as we look at help in all ramifications, both from spiritual perspective and from the mental perspective, or in terms of cognitive awareness perspective, that we can see how we need to strengthen our resolve in the area of our mind on how to get help. So part of the spiritual pursuit of this, the theme of this month, help, is prayers. How we offer prayers continuously to God to help us, and He will help us. He always does. This poor man cried, Psalm 34 verse 6. So this poor man cried unto the Lord, and the Lord heard him, and the Lord delivered him. So the Lord hears us. As we cry to Him, He does hear us, and He will hear us. But at the same time, when we're looking at this mental empowerment that we are focusing on today, it is so much of what we need to do and how we need to position ourselves, what we need to be aware of, that can help us to come to the reality of help that we seek from God. How we can become helped by God as He gives instruction to us. That Psalm 34 verse 6 says again, He says, this poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. The Lord has heard you, and He will yet hear you again, and He will save you from all your troubles in the name of Jesus. Let me focus principally on this, the mental, cognitive impartation or teaching tonight. And then the way we go by this is through summarizing a book that best closely aligns to the theme of what we are talking about, of what we are focusing on in Kingdom Arena in the month. So I'm going to share the slides with you, and the book which we have been focusing ahead on is the book of you see on the screen that the book we have been focusing on is written by Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy. The title of the book is Who, Not How. The formula to achieve bigger goals through accelerating teamwork. What I love about this book, in my understanding of what he's saying, essentially, is the fact that help is already around us. In those who saw the help you and I need is already reposed within those who surround us. If only we know how to tap into the people and stop asking how is help going to come to us. It's only if only we can recognize that our help is already given, is within those who surround us. So instead of asking how am I going to do it, the right question to ask is, who is going to help me to do it. And Lord, lead me to the right person. Lead me to the very person whom you have assigned to be of help to me concerning this thing. Okay, so it's good to reiterate the main idea of the book again. Remember, the books we have been reviewing, we have been summarizing, not reviewing. There is a difference between reviewing and summarizing. We are using the summary of the books. All the books we have been focusing on close to 2 years now. And they are business books. Because the truth of the matter is that all of us are in business. You are in business of your whole life. Jesus said, I must be about my Father's business. What is his Father's business? It was the mission that was given to him. So you are in a business as well, and you are the business. You are the director, the sole director of the company called You Incorporation. So you are an entrepreneur. What does entrepreneur do? They deal with time, they deal with resources, they deal with goals, they deal with assets, they manage shortfalls, and they project long-term profits. So also is your life. He said, make full proof of your ministry. That is, make full proof of your service to mankind. God gives you gifts to be of service to mankind. So the way you manage it is what makes you the manager. You are the manager of your life. Nobody else manages your life for you. You are the manager of your time and of the resources that God had given unto you. So the idea of this book is the fact that entrepreneurs, you as an entrepreneur, you must see yourself as that you are engaging in the affairs of your life and you want to make a success of it. So entrepreneurs ask the wrong question all the time. In thinking about a new project, new idea, new focus, they will ask, how do we do this? Instead, they should be asking, who can we get to do this for us? If you think that way, all kinds of interesting ideas and collaborations become feasible. To really succeed and reach a higher level of performance, you have to shift from a how mentality to a who mentality. By focusing on who you work with rather than trying to do everything yourself, you'll find your levels of achievement will rise at the same time as you get dramatically more freedom. It's a win-win situation. So when you're thinking about a new project or how to take your current project to the next level, who, not how, is the way you should think. Just this simple change of mindset can and will be a game changer. So this book revolves around 4 benefits that come from asking the right question of who is to help us. Because if this month is about help, the prayer therefore, or the resolve therefore, is to ask, who will do this for us? Who will do that for us? And the benefits of asking that right question is the fact that it creates more time for you, which we focused on last week. Tonight, it also gives you more money. It gives more money. It brings more money into your pocket. And the benefit 3 is that it also creates better relationships and gives you a greater sense of purpose. but we will only be able to focus on the second. Well, I'll see how we can go with the third benefit again tonight, but primarily benefit 2 is what we will focus on tonight. Peradventure we have more time, we'll be able to look into the third benefit, which is better relationships. Okay, so second benefit is that it gives you more money. If you start enlisting others who is to work towards your goals, you start creating teams, you start creating people that you can leverage what they've got for what you haven't got, and spend less time, you'll be less distracted and spend less time on non-productive activities. And the end result is you will have more to apply to what you are good at, and which makes you money. You'll be able to concentrate on the bottom line. You'll be able to look into freeing yourself by delegating and letting others have a sense of ownership and being able to render the help that is intrinsic to their being to you. You will have more money. You'll be able to create more money. Okay. The next, this next slide is benefit 2. It's part of benefit 2, and is only just saying one of the key benefits of asking who is who instead of how is to tap into other people's time and resources, which in turn frees you up to focus more on your own high value activities. That logically leads to an improvement in your own long-term earning capacity. It leads to an improvement in your own long-term earning capacity. Benjamin Hardy says, this is freedom of money. You can't improve your money freedom without increasing the woes in your life. In other words, you make money through people. Your money is in the hand of people. The more you free them, the more you enable and empower them to do what they can do for you, in understanding of the mutual benefit approach to it, actually, then what you begin to see is that it logically leads to an improvement in your own long-term earning capacity. Okay, freedom of money is also about having the money you need to solve whatever problem you have. When you ask who, you instantly up-level your capability and freedom. That is, you upgrade yourself, you upscale yourself, because you are going to receive leverages that's going to lift you and your dream and your goal up. Okay. Imagine what it would be like to have a team of people who have the responsibility to take your ideas and turn them into reality. Having a team like that could and will be quite transformative. They could literally create freedom and success in your life. It would empower you to achieve more, and that's what happens when you get into the habit of asking who rather than how. So business problems by and large tend to come in two different varieties. Any problem in life, really, not only just business problems, comes in two types. The first type is technical problems, where the answers is known and you just need to find out how to do it. I think that's the easiest one, really. It's something of a technical nature. You just know, and you look for experts who have the technical abilities to help you solve the problem. So that's one kind of problem. If all life is just about that, it will be great. But there's another type of problems in life that is called adaptive problem. Adaptive problems, where you have to figure out the best way forward as you go along. You get it going and you get better along. This is the most challenging one. Of the two, this is the one that creates a greater challenge. That is, you have to be figuring out the best way forward as you go along. And this tends to be the way God leads us, really. Tends to be primarily the way God leads us in His destiny, in His counsel for our lives. It doesn't tell you the full stretch of the journey you are going to take or the landmarks on the journey. No, it just gives you a word and you run with the word. The word will take your own lifetime to unfold, and there will be problems along the way. Within the problems will come for solutions, and within the solutions come for other problems. So it's all about resolving the problem, resolving the challenges. So if you get to know that and get to accept the fact that problems are the whole essence of life. As you are solving one problem, it creates other. As you are solving a problem, that brings a solution. Within the solution also emerges another problem. So the idea, I don't want problem in my life, that you don't want to live. It's all about creating solutions. Okay. Now, if you are facing a technical problem, then your ideal approach is to ask who rather than how. If you can add a who to your team to take care of that task, then you don't have to take the time to learn how to do it yourself. You can stay focused on what you are good at. Benjamin Hardy says, you can have way more money if you commit to having more money. You do that by investing in who's to relieve your previous attention from so many tasks, allowing you to place your attention and energy in places that will directly increase revenue. So then ask yourself, do you really want to engage your attention on this task? Could you spend your time in better, more exciting ways? Could you find a who to do this for you, someone who wants to do it and will see you as their who if you give them the opportunity? So it's about leveraging the strength of others. It's about leveraging the strength of those in your team by assigning them to do what we are talking about. Okay. If you are facing an adaptive problem, which is the second type of problem that business problems usually gravitate toward, or life's problems as well, because life is a business by itself, truly. So if you are facing an adaptive problem where there is no non-answer, then you probably need to act as a solution creator yourself. More than likely, you will be the who for adaptive problems initially. Once the solution has become established and more fully systemized, you can then look to train someone else up on how to get these tasks completed without your hands-on involvement. This is very interesting. This is about people management now. This is about leadership. That is, it starts from you asking who and discovering who, and then creating a system around the who that can be managed by other people trained to manage And when you're talking about that people train, you're still talking about who. Civilization advances by extending the number of operations we can perform without thinking about them. Alfred North Whitehead says that. It's through the providing solutions to problem that things change. Civilization develops and the civilization moves forward. So, adaptive problem is what makes civilization moves forward. If you think of a problem in your community or around you, and think of how to provide a solution to it, you're adding values to lives. You're adding values to your community. And that community advances, moves forward, progresses. And it makes a big difference in the total value of your community. Okay, let's move forward. To take a very simple example, Jacob Monty is a labor and immigration lawyer working in Houston, Texas, in the United States. In 1994, he hired a driver to take him to his meetings. This meant he stopped being late for his meetings. And he also showed up better prepared because he used the commute time in his car to plan what needed to happen in advance. With the creation of Uber, he no longer needs to keep a driver on staff. Jacob Monty now spends around 90 minutes a day in an Uber. His stress levels are lower and his thinking when he returns up for his meetings is more crisp and focused because he's well prepared. And also, somebody else's got a job through that, gets money, is freeing his time for others to use benefit, and they earn something from that. So by spending around $50 on a Uber and easily finding a woo for the task of driving, Jacob is able to create 10 times the impact in his meetings, which for him is often worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Jacob uses his 90-minute commute to prepare for meetings, which makes the meetings more effective and creates bigger opportunities. But often he's not preparing for a meeting, but thinking deeply about something else, like envisioning new projects or reaching out to prospective clients or collaborators. In freeing up his time, Jacob also freed up his mind. And with a freed up mind, he's able to create opportunities that generate increasingly large sums of money. Okay, now let's move forward. Psychologists talk about decision fatigue. As the time suggests, when you have a lot on your mind, it can become exhausting to make even simple decisions. When you have a who mindset rather than a how approach, you avoid decision fatigue and you can achieve a higher level of personal performance. Efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things. That was what the management guru Peter Drucker said in one of his books. Okay. Also, in this second benefit, I beg your pardon, I didn't change that benefit 1 to benefit 2. We're talking about benefit 2. Entrepreneurs don't live in the time and effort economy of paid employees. They live in the results economy. There is no guaranteed paycheck each week, but they live by the ability to create value for their customers and get them big results. If there is no result, there will be no revenue coming in, which is obviously not good or sustainable for entrepreneurs. If you want greater freedom in your life, you will need to focus on results. You need to let who's achieve the result for you. You need to give them the freedom to execute and create solutions in their own unique way. There's a great deal of science to back this up, Benjamin Hardy says. Okay, Dan Sullivan is well known for his saying that if you have enough money to solve a problem, then you don't have a problem. Let's move further. Let's see the next. So a good example of this principle of if you have enough money to solve a problem, then you don't have a problem. So a good example of this principle in action is Carl Castudine. Carl started working in business management at the suggestion of his father, but it soon became apparent to pretty much everyone management was not really his thing. Therefore, he started his own company, Away Resort, to give people amazing vacation experiences. As his business grew, he decided to build a website to sell vacation experiences. Carl Castudine began staying up all night learning to code, and soon was so exhausted he began to fall asleep in meetings. Out of desperation, he asked a web developer how much it would cost to have him build a website, and was stunned to find the developer would do it for £1,200. The low amount of the fee shocked him, given the amount of time he had invested as well as the value of his time as CEO. Yet, like with so many others, this lesson seems to take a few repetitions to finally sink in. You've got to really learn the opportunity cost of how, by doing everything yourself, you miss out on unfathomable growth that comes by investing in woods and utilizing your time and effort on higher impact activities. High impact leaders think on how they can leverage the help they need through others. For years after I started the company, Carl Castudine managed his sales team and did a decent job, it must be noted. Then in 2017, he hired a sales manager, and within a year, the company's profit went up by 25%. The sales manager brought in additional profits, which were about 20 times his salary. Carl then realized that he had hired a sales manager. If he had hired a sales manager 7 years ago, he would likely have made another 14 to 15 million over the years. So that was the last straw for Carl. He decided to go all in on who, not how. Carl was trained to think in terms of cost rather than investment. He now realizes the power of investing in himself and his future. Every time he invests in a woo, such as paying someone £1,200 for a website, he saves himself dozens or hundreds of hours that he can spend doing something more valuable and profitable. That time, if used focusing on the right things, could add millions of dollars to the bottom line. By hiring the sales manager for £120,000 per annum, Carl not only freed up time, but the company's revenue grew by several millions in the first year. This is the power of thinking in terms of investment. It wasn't a cost to hire that sales manager. It was actually costing Carl and the company to not have him. Your help is in someone. Your help is in someone. It's best to wake up to that reality and to see how you can leverage the help that others are carrying for your own good. So the reality is focusing on how all the time will cost you money. It will greatly limit and restrict your ability to come up with the big ideas that will make you lots of money. If you are cost-minded, you will never be able to create brilliant collaborations because you'll be trying to generate immediate returns. By contrast, if you are investment-minded, you won't be short-term in your thinking. You look at woods as an investment in your future. To be investment-minded is to be long-term focused, and you'll be positioned to have an expanding vision of your future. That change in mindset will be transformational. Amen. So it's time for us to start thinking long-term by thinking investment. And thinking investment means thinking who can you invest in that can take away the problem you are grappling with, but that is not within your skill set to be able to solve it. So the quotes I'm going to be quoting now are from different people. First, from Benjamin Adi, one of the co-authors of the book we're looking at, Who Not How. So you can survive without a community. You can survive without a community, but you can't thrive without one. Also, Greg McKeown. Only once you give yourself permission to stop trying to do it all, to stop saying yes to everyone, can you make your highest contribution toward the things that really matter. The moment you start seeing yourself as Jack, the moment you stop seeing yourself as Jack of all trades or master of none, the better it is for your life and for your business. You can have everything you love in life as long as you give up what you hate. Benjamin Hardy. The ability of the average man could be doubled if it were demanded, if the situation demanded it. That's an historian, Will Durant, that gives that. Now, entrepreneurs have crossed the risk line from the time and effort economy to the result economy. So what you should be managing is the result, and give time and effort to somebody else. As long as they are able to produce results, be result-driven leader. Become a result-driven leader. This solution, who can help us to get this solution, to arrive at this solution? Entrepreneurs, for them there is no guaranteed income, no one writing them a paycheck every 2 weeks. They live by the ability to generate opportunity by creating. So this is one thing you must take on board. It's about who, not so much about how. So that is the second benefit. The third benefit, I'm just going to read that out to you, which is how to do with better relationship. And on that note, today is 19. Next week we are not going to have Awaken the Leadership in You, because we'll be having another program in the country of Nigeria for the startup of Kingdom Arena Ibadan, and because of that I will be busy with the program, and we'll be able to, and Pastor Abiola himself also is not available to be able to run, and all our pastors, they are actually on holiday, so they will not be able to, none of them will not be able to run the program by God's grace next week. So it's just going to be something in which you something which this one that we have just done now just going to be the last one we have for this month on this particular topic. However, before I finish up tonight, I want to show you the program that I am talking about that is coming up by God's grace for our church in Nigeria, and that I will encourage you to go out to invite people to this program by God's grace next week. But before I share that with you on the screen tonight, let me quickly run over the third benefit, which is better relationship. The third benefit of asking who and not how. Once you start delegating, collaborating, and using more strategic partners, you will often find mentors to work with who will help you to get to the next level. I think the best thing will be for me to take this one that I'm putting there, take it off, and I begin to you just begin to see me talk with you, okay? As I show you, read out the note on the better relationship. That is, when you start delegating, collaborating, and using more strategic partners, you will often find mentors to work with who will help you get to the next level. You will feel more confident because you will know that you are working with more capable people. World-class collaborators can take you, your products, and your services to places you could never previously imagine. This is a very, very important point, benefit. That your greatest assets are people. And it's good to always remember that what you need is in people. When you start using who's to achieve your goals, you will soon find that you can form working relationships with some pretty amazing people. If you are doing something useful which creates value, and you are willing to share that value with your collaborators, high quality people will be willing to work with you. So not hoarding benefits, not hoarding will be of great value to you. So when creating relationships with wolves, ask yourself what is in need for them, not what is in need for you. When creating a vision, be sure that that vision aligns with your wolves' objectives and clearly helps them achieve what they personally want. You see, if you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. That's what that means. I think it was John Maxwell that I heard say that if you help enough people get what they want, you would actually also get what you want. So incorporating who into your mindset, who's question into your mindset instead of how, means you are thinking of how you can add values to the people. That what is in need for them that can get them motivated, that can give them a sense of ownership. So the best way to start a relationship with someone powerful is usually to volunteer for a cause they care about and to get stuck in and serve without any expectation of reward. If you do that, not only will you be doing good, but you will position yourself to rub elbows with high quality people. with high qualities people. Gratitude also attracts and creates abundance. If you are consistently and genuinely grateful, most of the people will want to help you more. They will enjoy working with you and alongside you. Gratitude will make you kinder, more humble, and more likable. Gratitude has physical, psychological, and social benefits. Wow. Albert Einstein says, try not to become a man of success, but a man of value. Look around at how people want to get more out of life than they put in. A man of value will give more than he receives. That's wisdom. So, let's create values to add to the life of people. Michael Fishman said, self-made is an illusion. There are many people who play divine roles in you having the life that you have today. Be sure to let them know how grateful you are. Example, the person who introduced you to the person who introduced you to your spouse or business partner or client. Go back that far. Napoleon Hill, the author of the business classic Think and Grow Rich, tells the story that at one time Henry Ford was being questioned by lawyers for a Chicago newspaper. They were trying to prove Ford was ignorant by asking him general knowledge questions. Henry Ford soon tired of their tactics and said, if I should really want to answer the foolish question you have just asked, or any of the other questions you have been asking me, let me remind you that I have a row of electric push buttons on my desk, and by pushing the right button, I can summon to my aid men who can answer any question I desire to ask concerning the business to which I am devoting most of my efforts. In other words, Ford was successful because he knew his limitations, and therefore he got good at finding the right rules. He got talented in designers, engineers, manufacturers, and salespeople involved, and let them do their thing. When it comes to success in business, nothing beats collaboration. It's the same with ministry and life. No matter how brilliant your mind or strategy, if you are playing a solo game, you will always lose out to a team. One of the keys to collaborating successfully is to put out there stuff which is not finished yet and let others give you feedback so you can make adjustment and improvement on the fly. Dan Sullivan calls this the 80% rule. It suggests that you can often get 80% of a project finished quickly by writing a brief draft covering the main ideas. Most people will then grind away trying to go from 80% to 90 or 100% finished before they will let someone else see what they are doing. The 80% rule suggests that once you reach that 80% mark, you should get your wolves involved. Share your rough draft and let your team have the finished touches and the polish. That will always be much faster and produce a better result than grinding along trying to do everything by yourself. Done is better than perfect. Dan Sullivan says 80% is already getting result while 100% is still thinking about it. So whenever you see incredible work happening, you can be certain collaboration plays a role. A good example is golf. At first glance, this seems like an individual sport, but at the Professional Golf Association level, golfers don't go it alone. They have a caddy who not only carries their bag, but also acts as a helper, teacher, and on-course strategist. For example, New Zealander Steve Williams was caddy for Tiger Woods from 1999 to 2011, a period of 12 years. He later admitted he would sometimes intentionally misinform Tiger if he thought it would improve his game. Wow. Benjamin Addy quotes, at the 2000 PGA Championship in the 4th round and on the fairway of the 17th hole, Tiger was behind by one shot. He needed a birdie to tie the leader. Williams calculated 95 yards to the flag, but he purposefully told Tiger 90 yards. Williams knew Tiger's game and his pattern just as much, if not more so, than Tiger. In an interview with Golf Magazine, Williams said Tiger's distance control had become a problem. He had trouble hitting 3 balls the same distance 3 times in a row with the same club. So I would adjust yardages and not tell him. If he had 95 yards, I might tell him 85 yards, depending on how he was swinging. At that 17th hole, and based on Williams' advice, Tiger hit the ball 2 feet from the hole and ended up winning the 3-hole playoff. Williams had been giving Tiger incorrect yardages for 5 years, which also happened to be during Tiger's most successful run. Wow. 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 So people helping you make you better, make you look better. So whenever you collaborate, several good things happen. You become exposed to good ideas of other people. One of those ideas, or even several of them, might be vastly superior to what you would generate on your own. That's very true. Combing your ideas and your perspective with the skills of others can be a genuine performance boost. Another great advantage of collaboration is you can move fast, especially when robust back and forth discussions are taking place. As you ask for help and others step up to the plate and get involved, you can walk through challenges at pace. If you get stuck, others will be there to keep things moving forwards. Collaboration works and provides benefits on all kinds of different levels. Benjamin Hardy, one of the co-authors of this book, says, getting results doesn't take much time at all. It's not getting the result that takes up all the time. Dan Sullivan says, all progress starts by telling the truth. A painting is never finished, Paul Gardner says. It simply stops in interesting places. William Blake says, without contraries, is no progression. Dan Sullivan again says, always make your learning greater than your experience. Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl is I think he's a psychologist or a Christian psychologist or Brigham psychiatrist that wrote so many books. He said, for success, like happiness, cannot be pursued. It must ensue. And it only does so as the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself, or as the byproduct of one's surrender to a person other than oneself. Wow. Also, that was Viktor Frankl. Now Benjamin Hardy rounds up this benefit 3 with this quote: although having a great work ethic is something to strive for, you've got to be careful. You are either in the time and effort economy or the results economy. Far too often, people wear their hard work as a badge of honor, but in reality, they are engaging in hows that could easily be handled by a woo to more effectively produce the desired results. Entrepreneurs base their lives on results. It's not about time and effort. It's not about time and effort. Maybe I'll quickly also read through the greater sense of purpose, which is the 4th benefit of this book. It says, when you are no longer bogged down doing stuff you are not that good at, you can apply more time, energy, and resources to making an impact as you see fit. You can imagine new goals and make them happen because you have more confidence and bigger vision. You can pursue your dreams, not spin your wheels. Han Rand says, a creative man is motivated by the desire to achieve, not by the desire to beat others. How can you stop competing and start collaborating more? That's a $1 million question. You are not in the business of competing with others, but seeking how you can have the best collaboration. Focusing on how all the time has the additional danger that you become isolated in your goals. You look only at what you will be 100% responsible for getting done. When you start thinking about who, instead, your vision expands. A whole universe of options becomes feasible when you consider leveraging the skills and competencies of others. That's the key. Leveraging the skills and competencies of others. Dalai Lama. Too much self-centered attitude, you see, brings you see isolation. Result: loneliness, fear, anger. The extreme self-centered attitude is the source of suffering. The reality is human progress is driven by communication and collaboration. You can learn how to create a vision, make decisions, and then lead a team who work together to achieve something great. There is no limit on how far you can go. Competition is for losers. When Michael Jordan was drafted by the Chicago Bulls in 1984, everyone realized he was a superstar in the making. Despite that, the Chicago Bulls never made it past the first round of the post-season playoffs during Jordan's first 6 years in the NBA. Michael Jordan understood the how of winning a championship, but he needed a who to help him achieve that. In 1987, the Bulls traded for a rookie named Scottie Pippen. He proved to be a good collaborator because he pushed Michael Jordan to sharpen his defensive and offensive skills. The Bulls started making it to the second round of the playoffs, but then teams would double or triple Team Jordan every time he got the ball. Once Jordan was taken out of the game, the Bulls had no chance. Then in 1989, Phil Jackson became head coach of the Chicago Bulls. He realized that relying on Michael Jordan alone wasn't smart. And Jackson developed the triangle offense with more passing and cutting to get players an open shot. The result: in Jackson's first year as head coach, the Bulls went 55-27 for the year and made it to the third round of the playoffs. The following year, in 1991, they went 61-21 and defeated the LA Lakers in the NBA Finals. They then went on to win 5 more championships over the next 7 years. Wow. So what he's talking about here is collaboration. So learning to not to compete, but to complete. Learning to collaborate with others is all what this is all about. So that's how you can have a greater sense of purpose. When you are no longer bogged down doing stuff you are not that good at, you can apply more time, energy, and resources to make an impact as you see fit. You can imagine new goals and make them happen because you have more confidence and bigger vision. You can pursue your dreams, not spin your wheels. Well, I guess this is where I'm going to stop tonight. I'd like to show to you the program that is coming up that we're having in the city of Ibadan. It's a 4-day program next week, from Thursday to Sunday actually, but the crusade itself is Thursday evening 6 to 8 to Saturday, and this is the beginning, going to be the beginning of the church Kingdom Arena in Ibadan, Manhattan. I'm sure you may not be able to see it clearly, but the place is 15 Zone 1 Onibuore Road, Okoya Onibuore bus stop, behind Food Co, Manhattan, Ibadan. Just before you get to Yano Church, before you get to Disengolf, the next bus stop after Food Co, where the abattoir is where you veer off to the back of Footco. And that road is called Onibore Road. 15 Zone 1 is a very popular street. Join us, or send this to, or call attention of your friends and families living in the area to come be part of this. It promises to deliver results. We're expecting the hand of the Lord to be manifest, and it shall be manifest. The very Sunday after the crusade, we have the Sunday service start 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. First service for the church, Kingdom Arena, Ibadan. Thank you for those of you who have supported us this far. We still crave more support from you. And we pray that you will find helpers of vision, helpers of dreams for your life. Thank you for your prayers. We still need more prayers. In the name of Jesus. Thank you. We don't have... the next time we have Awaken the Leadership in You is going to be on the 9th of September. Why? Because next Friday is 26. The one after that is 2nd of okay. Yeah. It's going to be 2nd of... Okay, it's going to be 2nd of September. I beg your pardon. It's going to be 2nd of September. When next we have Awaken the Leadership, and you will have moved to another month, the month of love, the month of agape. So the book summary we'll be looking at will have to do with love in your relationship, cementing the building blocks of your relationship through love. Anyway, we wait till then. Meanwhile, thank you. I hope you've been blessed. I would encourage you to go to Amazon.com to see if you can get this book and read through it, not only just the summaries that we have given you. And this will help you more. It will give more juice to the bones that we have shared with you. All what we have shared with you so far is just the bones, the structure of the book, and the key points of the book. But you need to have the flesh around it. Thank you for joining me. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord makes His face to shine upon you. The Lord be gracious to you. The Lord lift up His countenance towards you. The Lord grant you peace. By this shall the name of our Lord Jesus Christ rest upon you, and He will bless you greatly. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.